You are listening to the Creative Talks podcast, presented by the Architectural Authority magazine.
I feel like prism, it's like the actual prism. You let light in and a rainbow comes out. Like it's a transformation.
Beautiful.
And I love this name. I thought first it's going to be like Prisma Design, but I think Prisma Interiors really speaks to what it's done. It's like transforming interiors into something completely different.
And it allows you to use the prism as your logo. So
Now I see also from the designers that you had on the podcast, they connect with
Yeah.
with everything, and you notice that my clients also, they love watching you work also on other projects that you're doing, and
True.
they look at your work, and they're actually your biggest supporters at the end of the day.
This video is brought to you by the Stones and More Group, a leading wholesale distributor with over 2 decades providing top-quality porcelain, ceramic, slabs, mosaics, panels, and building materials, crafted to transform any space.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Creative Talks. I'm your host, Cindy, and today I'm incredibly excited to bring you a conversation with a true creative visionary. She's the founder of Prisma Interiors, a design studio known for its bold aesthetics, refined elegance, and a deep commitment to creating spaces that don't just look beautiful, but feel meaningful. Her work is where art, emotion, and functionality come together. Please welcome Tatyana Gold, a designer, entrepreneur, and storyteller through space. We'll be diving into her journey as a founder, what inspires her work, and how she built a brand that resonates so deeply with the world of interior design. Tatyana, welcome to Creative
Thank you,
Talks.
Cindy. Good to see
We've
you.
been trying to do this for a long
So long.
time because you just had a baby. Well, not too recent
Not too
anymore.
recent, yeah.
But we were like, let's go, let's do it, Tatyana,
Mhm.
come. So how's that, being a mom? First?
No,
No.
fourth.
Fourth, wow.
Yes.
Okay, then you are just,
I'm done.
yeah. But anyways, it takes time. So
Yes.
you went back to work immediately?
Immediately. Also
Immediately.
with my almost 4-year-old now, when she was born, I had 5 projects
Wow.
that were currently happening at the same time. So I'm used to it, and when I realized that I was pregnant, I wasn't as afraid as with her because I know I can do it and I already been through it. So she's a blessing. All of them are. It's hard work, but it really pays off.
Well, let's start from the beginning. You were raised in Israel.
Yes.
Tell me all the story, then how you came to the US.
So actually, we came into US because my mom won the green card lottery, which
That's
is
awesome.
It is,
Uh-huh.
and we came here. I was 17. I had to graduate high school in the United States, and after 2 years in community college, I decided that Philadelphia was not for me. It was way too cold. It was gray most of the year, and I think weather affects the mood a lot
Totally.
with people,
Totally. Yeah.
and it was very evident on the people that I was interacting with, and I'm like, this is not for me. So I decided to move to Miami when I was
Alone?
19. Yeah, I took my car and I drove down.
Wow.
And that's it. And I went to FIU and I graduated from Miami International University of Art and Design. And I started working in restoration hardware as my first job.
Nice. That's a great
Yeah,
start.
they picked me up from the portfolio review. So I started working there for almost a year.
And there, what you had to do? You had to do some design advice.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was hired as an an in-house interior designer. So that's how it started over there, and then little by little it turned a little bit more into a sales position.
Okay.
And it was not something that I wanted to do.
Because you needed to sell exactly what is at the store.
And if you know a little bit like about our age, their philosophy is very strict. So the design is very strict, and the way you approach it is very strict. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Nonetheless.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that maybe do not connect with the style.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
I was really hoping to get this connection with clients, and a lot of the jobs that I was doing for restoration hardware, you sell the furniture and you they go on their way. Other projects, they were more complex, so you actually get floor plans and you get to sit with the client over and over again and create their
those were the
homes.
ones you liked.
Yes, and I'm
Yeah.
like, something is holding me back, and I just took a leap of faith.
But
And
you're so brave. Like you leave Philadelphia, you leave a Restoration Hardware, which is a
yeah,
great firm, and you started on your own.
I think since I was little, I just knew what I have this like rule. If it doesn't make me happy, I'm not in the right
I
place.
like it.
So I didn't
I
feel as
learned that on my
happy.
40s.
Yeah, you see,
You're young. Yeah, you were young.
So, and I think it's so important to give credit to yourself, and
Yeah.
also for the things that you're able to do.
Mhm.
And that's when I decided, like, this
You
is
know,
not.
I've been in your shoes, but
Mhm.
at some point you feel like, okay, but how am I gonna pay the bills?
Yep.
I'm going to just leave everything that it's
Mhm.
secure because
Exactly.
I trust my gut feeling,
Mhm.
and that really works.
Yeah.
When you do what you love,
Mhm.
things come,
I think
opportunities start coming, and
yeah. I also will give some credit to my husband, because my husband is an entrepreneur. He never worked with for somebody else since he
mhm,
was like 16. So he really pushed me into, like, believe in yourself, do it. You can do it. Like, you can quit the job, everything will be fine. Go ahead, do
and
it.
you will think that maybe you want somebody under
Mm-hmm.
payroll and somebody entrepreneur, but he pushed you.
No,
So
yeah,
he
he's like,
believed
go,
he
go,
great.
do it. Everything will be fine. And I think that's also give me confidence of saying, okay, if everything will be fine, so I can do it little bit slower, little bit
Mhm.
like stumbling, in the beginning. And that's what happened. And actually, two of my first clients were my clients from Restoration Hardware, and they
Imagine.
reached out to me because they saw, like, my Instagram, like, you're doing things on your own now. I want to do my house. And two of those clients, I did renovations
Full
in
God.
full gut of their two properties, one in Weston and one in Victoria Park, for like a 4-story
Uh-huh.
house. And that's how we
That's how
started.
you started
Yep.
in 2019.
Yep.
That's right before COVID.
Yes,
So
yes.
then you were shaking.
So shaking, because I just quit.
Uh-huh.
I'm just like on my baby steps to
Right.
start my career, and then everything shuts down. And what happened was the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Everything
It
started
was an
booming.
abundance of
Yes,
work at
so
that.
much
Yeah.
work. I was the busiest at that point. I had a well, he was a friend of a friend, and he reached out and he wanted to do a synagogue. So I'm like, let's do it. And I did it,
Mhm.
like, for free, because, like,
Which one? The one in Bal
it's
Harbor? No.
no, not Bal Harbor. It's in Miami Beach, on
Okay.
where Chase Avenue is.
All right,
It's
because in my years of advice with materials,
mhm.
I worked or collaborated with a lot of synagogues,
Mhm.
so I knew it, but no.
Yeah, so it's in Miami Beach, so I did it free of charge, like, and later on I ended up doing the person who owned the building. I did his own residence, also
Great.
got out, and it's like always another one and another one and another one.
Did you have to reject jobs at that point,
Not at
or
this
you
point.
always managed to take them?
I always managed to take them,
And
but
how many at the same time could you handle?
I think the most I had was like about 7. That
Uh-huh.
but you
We
know
get
how it
crazy,
is. It
but yeah,
gets crazy.
there's cycles.
There's cycles, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Some are ending, some are
Mm-hmm.
like in the middle, so
Right.
you have like a breathing room. Some are
Yeah.
just the beginning, which is the
Yeah, but there are
excitement.
moments that are
For sure,
crazy,
for
crazy
sure.
that you leave a furniture store with your clients so very well dressed
Mm-hmm.
for 4 hours, and
Yeah.
then you run to the job site, take out your
Take
heels,
exactly.
and start
Pick up your
working.
hair.
It's crazy, and then you go
Crazy.
back home and make food
Yeah.
and study with the
For
kids. I
exactly.
can relate.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
How many kids you
I
have?
have two,
Amazing.
but one is already at FIU.
Wow. I can
So I'm
believe it.
done there.
Yeah.
And then the other one is 14. Yeah. How
Amazing.
old are yours?
Mine are all under 11. So I have 11, 9, almost 4, and a baby.
So a lot of
So
homework time
a lot of
still.
homework done. But actually, like, because my parents were very hardworking, they worked a lot of hours.
Mhm.
So I had to be very independent on my homework. And it's something
Mhm.
that I really push my kids to
To
be.
do.
Obviously, if they need help, I'm there.
Right.
But don't come for every question. Don't
Mhm.
don't be, like, be independent in your work. And I think that's something that build their confidence. My 11-year-old never
Mhm.
asks for help, if only when it's like a new subject and I can really help him,
Mhm.
then yes. But
And then you trust them that they're doing and they're
yeah,
There you go.
Obviously, when I go to sleep, I check it.
Good. So you are also like a full mom that
Hmm.
you're there in that's a flexibility that I'm happy with what we do,
100%. A
right?
hundred
That
percent.
was the first thing
It's
that
such a blessing.
I loved
Yeah.
when I free myself,
Hmm.
because I could attend the school meetings and I
Exactly.
could be
I think
more
one of my breaking points with restoration hardware was less of the constraints of design than me being absent from my family. There was
Mhm.
a
You had kids already.
yeah, I had two already.
Mm.
And when I worked there was one day that I dropped off my kids, and it's an early day, so they always like the early birds in preschool. And they call me within like 10 minutes and come get your kid, like he's burning hot.
You
I
couldn't.
didn't see, like I didn't notice, or he was acting fine. And I call restoration. I'm like, I can't come today. And at this point, obviously it's a business, I
Mhm.
can't expect like whenever I have an issue, they're
Right.
gonna make up the person for me.
Mhm.
Um and I couldn't leave. So my husband had to pick up my child. And I was like, this is not what I want to do. I
Mhm.
want to be present for my kids. They
Mhm.
say you only have about 13 years when your
Mhm.
kid is fully yours, and then they break into like a different place in their life, whether it's school or friends, or
Mhm. Like you're
and
not
they start
important
to
for them
disconnect.
anymore. I'm there.
Yeah, and you start to
Yeah.
disconnect, and
Yeah.
you have so little time
Yes.
to actually be with them. And I told myself I'm not going to miss it, not for anything, not for any position.
Mhm.
And everything just came to a close with me, and I just gave my 2-week resignation, and that was the beginning, actually, not the end.
Incredible. So, COVID comes, you have a lot of work
Hmm.
during COVID,
Yep.
and then what kind of jobs were you doing after the synagogue? You
uh
got the owner's
hmm
uh,
so
building
uh
or house?
no, the owners of the building, and he actually a member of the synagogue, so he decided out of his goodwill.
But
And
when you did that, you were not interested in, okay, what's gonna come from me? I just
Mhm.
wanna do for help.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
for this one specifically, yes, because it's a synagogue and I'm
Right.
Jewish. Like there's not a responsibility, but it's a
Mhm.
good feeling to do
Those
something
are
like that.
beautiful projects. The ones
Yes.
we do from the heart, to
Mm-hmm.
me, it's also the same.
Yeah, and I,
Yeah,
and I think like I believe in very much in what you give, what's what you get.
totally. Yeah.
So when the project was over, he didn't even hesitate to hire me for his home. And a project after project, like it just kept coming. Even when my 3-year-old was born, I told myself, okay, I'm gonna take a little break, at least like 5-6 months to
Mhm.
experience the newborn. For me, in my
That
idea, she
was
was
new.
my last. Like my
Yeah.
fourth was a surprise. I didn't expect her to come, and I wanted to spend time, but I just had more and more projects coming, and I loved it. Like sometimes I would say no, and it's mostly based on the chemistry with the
Right.
client, and when the demands are unrealistic, and it's something that I don't want to disappoint. And
Mhm.
this is my name.
Mhm.
Like I'm not gonna jump into a project and say like, yes, 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 of course I'll do it. Everything is possible, and then the issues come. So these are the projects that I had to say no to, but I literally took anything that I can get. It was like my 2 3 first years in interior design, hard ones.
By yourself.
Yeah.
By
Yeah.
yourself. At that point, you didn't have somebody at the office going with
No,
you and
that's
for
the thing.
emotional
You wear all
support.
the hats,
You
all of
wear all the
them:
hats. Yeah.
administration and design and drafting and
Yes.
renderings and 3D and
And
everything.
claims and this
Everything.
arrived broken and customer service.
Yeah.
Everything. We do everything.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's
We
a
even have to check on the plumber's work. So
all the time you have to check. And like I also enjoy this part,
yeah.
especially now that that we were talking a little bit earlier, that I'm doing now a lot of new construction.
Hmm.
I get to see how the home comes from the ground up, and it's
Yeah.
something that maybe you don't see as much in like renovation, because you
Hmm.
have to work with something. But with clients who are hiring you
Ground
from the
up is
very beginning,
amazing. It's
you can
amazing.
change things and tweak things. And like everything is still on paper,
Hmm.
nothing is still standing, the
Hmm.
ground is not broken yet. And it's such a beautiful place to be in because you really get to be creative, and
And you
nothing
will say
constrains you.
those are your favorite projects?
100%.
Yeah.
I
Have
love
you
new
done
construction.
any commercial like restaurants?
I did a jewelry store in
Okay.
Hollywood.
That was fun?
Yeah, yeah, it was fun because the client he saw. I actually did I would say 2.5 because one of the jewelry stores was very, very little. And
Uh-huh.
like the jewelry people, they're all connected because they work with each other. So one tells another, like I worked with Tatyana, like here's your phone
Mm-hmm.
number. And the funny thing, after I did his store, I also did his home. So it's like,
Wow.
it's like a domino. You do something
Yes.
good, you get hired again, they tell other people, they recommended
But I
me.
can tell from you talking that you are easygoing. You are the kind of
Yes.
personality that's
Mm-hmm.
probably soft and
I
and
try.
sweet.
I try. I try to
Right?
be.
And that's usually like everybody wants that in their
Mhm.
life. I don't want somebody that I'm not gonna have.
I think it's so important
Yeah.
in this job to keep your cool
Yeah.
because if you start freaking out about every single thing that is happening, your client will feel that on you. When you come
Mm-hmm.
to the job site and you look like a wild chicken,
Mm-hmm.
your client will see that.
Yeah.
And you need to keep your calm. And a lot of times when things happen, um, one of the things that I really don't like to do is come to my client with an issue.
Right.
I don't like that. I will never do that. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
my
You
clients don't
try to
even
solve it
know there
first.
were issues
Exactly.
because I will tell them we had this issue because I really love to be transparent with my client. But here's
We
what we do to
fixed
solve
it.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be solved in an X amount of time. If it's a delay, they have to know.
Mm-hmm.
If it's something very small like a wallpaper covering, we had a little incident the other like few weeks ago when the installers installed a panel that was not the same like dye lot, and I didn't catch
Uh-huh.
it, they didn't catch it, and there was like this dark panel in between everything. I didn't call the client, I called the company, I talked to the installers, we
You
solved
fixed it.
everything. They already shipped, I have a tracking number, and then I called the client, hey, this is what happened, that's why this is not installed, it will be installed next week. And that's it,
Okay.
that's all they have to know. But they
Good.
do know there was an issue and it was solved.
And how is your beginning when you get a client? What is your process? What is the first things that you do?
So I love to meet the client
Mm-hmm.
in person. And like I said, a lot of some of the clients that I like, some of the project that I rejected was on chemistry and unrealistic expectations. So I love to
Because you
meet with them.
feel some energy there, and
Yeah, and I mean, especially if it's new construction, we will be working for 2, 3, 4 years. Who
yes,
knows, and
it's a
and
marriage.
yeah, it is. And in all reality, you're their psychologist, you're their like
Yeah.
marriage consult, you're their advisor on everything. Sometimes they call you on like, um, I want to buy this little table for a room that has nothing to do with your
Yes.
design, and you're like, okay, yeah, let's do it.
I end up talking about the dentist, their cruise at
Yeah,
the end of every
you know
job.
them
Yeah.
inside out, and
Mm-hmm.
I love this. I love this part of the project.
Yes, it's nice. So you meet them in person,
Hmm.
and that's when you realize, yeah, we are meant to work
Yeah.
together.
Hmm.
And then your creative process, how does it start? You make a lot of questions, or
Yes, so sometimes I would ask for reference pictures, but I think in some project they don't really know their style, and there
and
was
some give you 6 reference pictures that
mhm,
they don't have anything to do with the
no
other.
connection,
Yeah,
and sometimes what they send you they loved it this moment because the Pinterest board was nice,
right.
So I like questions. I like to know how they live their life, how many kids they have, if they have any pets, if they like work from home or not, if they entertain or not, how they live in this
Mm-hmm.
in this structure that we're going to be working on, and I think that will give me so much more indication of what to do rather than send me pictures, which always help. I do ask for those just so I can connect the dots,
Mm-hmm.
between what you tell me and what you show me.
Right.
Let's make it together.
Uh-huh.
So, and after that, I just start working. So on floor
Right
plans, on
there. You don't go
materials.
out to see finishes with them first in the beginning steps.
Um, I rarely do that. to be
right?
honest. That's why I have my studio now. I have a lot of samples in
Okay.
my studio
So
from
mood boards are analyzed there,
yeah.
and you get a feeling of the
Hmm.
palette they like.
Yeah, so I had in the beginning of my process, I had experiences with clients that when I bring them with me, it's like a child, like they start
Right.
looking
They like
everywhere, like
everything.
hey, like this, what about this? And it's like it starts drifting away from
Mhm.
reality,
Right.
really, and
Or
from
mixing, like your direction was this, and
hmm
now they want a,
yeah.
I don't know, a retro bathroom.
Exactly, like they start drifting away from what we came to do and what we came to see. So what I notice is when I present a project, and I also do it in phases, and my clients know that I would come with them. It's like a phase of, let's see if we're on the same page. So we
Mhm.
design, let's say 40-50% of the residence, and I will bring materials, and I will bring finishes, and I will bring the sketches and some initial 3D views. Let's see if we're on the same page. If we are, we start rolling. If we're not, at least I'm not fully invested in my vision that it's
Mhm.
not going to work at the end. So I love there. I think I work a little bit different than a lot of people expect, and I always say that to my clients. It's not going to be like an HGTV episode when I open the door and here it is. It's not going to be that. We're going to be working
It's
as a
never like
team.
that.
It's
Yeah.
never like that,
Yeah.
and they love to be on the job site with you, which is
Uh-huh.
great.
Yeah.
I love job sites. I was just one on yesterday, and I enjoyed it.
I love job sites. What
Hmm.
would be your favorite part of the process? That beginning concept, or the hands-on, what
Hmm.
everything is happening, or shopping for furniture, or the end, the details?
I
What is
think
it?
my favorite is actually like presenting to my
Mhm.
client and see their reaction, because at this point, my vision is out there,
Right.
but their vision that they couldn't put into like pictures and materials and like
Mhm.
feel it is
Now
out
they
there
see it
too.
like you.
And yeah, and we're linking and we're happy, like this is the part of the project. I
Mhm.
think it's the easiest because it's there, everybody's happy. And then the harder part starts to implement everything,
Right.
which is a lot of administrative work and accounting and
Mhm.
ordering and all the logistics of the project. So this is like my highlight, and then it's like a roller coaster, and at
Right.
the end, the
Yeah,
end. The
the
end
end
is
is it's
it's a
it's
breath of
exciting, and even
yes.
if we have bumps in during the process, at the
Hmm.
end you forget them all.
Yes, it's so crazy. It's like
See,
completely
it's like having
deleted.
a kid. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that pain, and then you want to do it again.
One
Uh-huh.
of my a son of my client saw me, like at the end of the project, and like, like uh i I don't I can't hide my excitement,
I
like at
can't
the end.
hide it.
And I'm happy I can't, like I don't want to be contained when everything looks amazing. So he looks at me and he tells me, "Show me you love your job. Like tell me you love your job without telling me you love your job." And this is it. This is the
Yeah.
moment of completion, and then everybody's
I
happy.
had one client, one of my first ones, that we went shopping for everything, but
Mhm.
I get so excited that he once told me, please, no emotions today.
Mm,
Because he didn't want to feel like, okay, yeah, we're going to buy you that. He
mhm.
wanted to be rude.
Yeah.
So, no emotions today, Cindy, because
Mhm.
I am the kind that, like, just
Yeah.
like you, that you can tell in my face
Mhm.
that this is beautiful, that I love it. Yes, let's do it.
Yeah. I think you wanted like a moment to think also, because a lot of times the clients will get excited with you, and
Hmm.
sometimes like the significant
Sometimes they
other
don't
is not
understand it
there.
yet,
Yeah.
and it grows into them.
Exactly.
Because it has happened that you propose something at the
Mhm.
beginning, they don't buy it, and then in the end, then you work on five different options
Yeah.
and they go
And they go
back to
back
the
to yeah,
first one.
so many times.
Why?
I think at a certain part of the relationship, they learn to fully trust you. And when things are starting to change, like maybe let's try five different options, but then you suggested the one, that
Then
it's
you
going to
go
look
back.
good, and
Uh-huh.
you've seen it installed, or
Uh-huh.
the brand, and it's everything supposed to work
Yeah.
as it should. But somewhere along those like third or fourth samples, they start to trust you, and that's when they go back to what you said, because they say like, okay, she knows what she's doing. I hired
Mhm.
her for a reason.
Yeah.
We're not only chatting here. They entrusted you with their home, which I think is so personal.
So much.
And that's why we love
But
to do
have
that.
you had the kind of clients that want to control every step?
I had, and I don't blame it. I don't blame them for that. Like I actually, not, I don't prefer, but I'm not mad at them. Like
Okay.
this is their home. When I was pregnant with my third, we purchased a house and we renovated it. And I understood firsthand what it is to be like emotionally connected
Mhm.
to the process, but from like personal level. And I can't blame them if they want to be fully part of the process. Let it be. What
Mhm.
I will not allow, but what I will not encourage is, taking over and then things become a big mess.
Right. Yeah, because you have to lead.
Yeah.
That's why you're there
That's
for.
why, exactly, they hired you to do a certain job, and sometimes they get too excited. So they think they're like part of the design team,
Mhm.
which is fine again, until one point when things are seven choices for this, 10 choices for that. No.
Yeah.
And another thing that I when I said that I don't take them gallery shopping, uh, I had a suitcase, and I would come with a suitcase to my
Yeah.
clients, and I would like put everything on there, and in that suitcase I always had like two or three options more. So when we do the material meeting with all the the millwork and everything,
Mhm.
if they don't like this something at one point, I always have something else to show them, and in most cases, it just closes on the spot.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, like, you make your own process
Mm-hmm.
easier because if we
Yeah.
give them the ocean of options.
Yeah, and I think another reason why people, because a lot of people have good taste and
Mhm.
they can do their own homes,
Yep.
but it's an ocean of
It's an ocean of
possibilities
options.
and oceans of materials and
Mhm.
wall coverings. My goodness, don't
Yeah.
even get me started on that. They want guidance. They
Right.
want you to tell them that this is not going to work. And in the beginning of my process, I I let my clients lead me, which the end result was not as sufficient as I wanted it to be. And I think they felt it too, because
Mhm.
they at some point they will be like, I should have listened, like I should have done it this way because the
Mhm.
contrast now doesn't work. It's too
Well,
gray or
there
too
are
beige.
mistakes that
Mm-hmm.
we allow them to make. For
Yeah.
example, there was a client that wanted a lamp for the kitchen. I said
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't go. We have
Mm-hmm.
to go with 3 pendants. He
Yeah.
buys the lamp, he
Mm-hmm.
puts the lamp,
And it
he
doesn't
hates
work.
the lamp.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
it's for sale. So
Mm-hmm.
that happens too.
Yeah.
Then that's when they learn, you know what, I better trust
Yeah. And
the
I also
recommendations.
train myself to say like no. Like, and I don't explain why. Like it's a no. If they ask me like why, let's try, like then I would explain that this is not working and this is not working and it's off scale and it's too
Mhm.
big, like you give them the
Mhm.
professional
Or it's going to
explanation.
compete with the rest.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
are arguments. Yeah.
But my first word is no.
No.
And I'm like a dead stare in the eyes, like, no. And they like, sometimes they would be like pulled back. But then when they realize that, okay, this is going to work with everything else. And that's how you build a trust. If you
Yeah.
always let them lead you, they will not trust you to make a decision because you are waiting for them to make the decision.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Good strategies.
Mhm.
You learn anything about business in your
Oh,
past?
everything. I didn't even know how to file taxes when I started.
Well, that I'm there.
Yeah,
But there you have to have a little bit of business strategies and
I think
psychology
so.
of clientele.
Yes,
A
yes. And
lot.
and I've been working a lot in sales beforehand.
That's
So,
true.
yeah, so it really helps.
Yeah.
You start to see patterns in
Hmm.
people, like
Yeah.
what triggers them, what causes them into like,
Hmm.
you
How can you
lead them.
persuade because
Yeah.
you want this result? And
Mhm.
it's good for them.
Yeah,
But
it's
you have
exactly,
to.
because sales, you work a lot of for yourself because it's a
Hmm.
commission. I worked in a lot of stores, and so it's, you work for yourself. But interior design, it's not. You work
Yeah.
for them.
For
They
them.
get to live in it. They get to experience it. They get
Hmm.
to
They're gonna
like
stay
share
with the
moments.
house,
E-
and then they're gonna recommend
exactly.
you. So
and it's building
Yeah.
your name, so you care so much more. It's still in a sense not a sale job, but you have to sell them the idea, you have to sell them your vision, you have to sell them your trust, in a way that they will fully commit to you.
Yeah, I noticed that you are like super sure,
Mm-hmm.
confidence. I
Yes.
think that's what sells the most,
Mm-hmm.
confidence in what you
Exactly,
do.
exactly.
Yeah.
When they see it in you, they just let go of everything and give you the lead.
I've chat with many designers and I've been part of projects with designers as well. And I've seen every mistake that you can imagine. Is there any problems that you can recall that happen at a job site where you learn
Mm-hmm.
from, but that take you out of the
So I recently,
uh-huh.
actually, one of my big projects currently, my client, he gave me a vision. And if he's gonna watch it, he's gonna know. He gave me a vision. And then in those meetings, when we see that we are on the same page, we were on the same page. But looking back, it wasn't what he initially wanted. And I kind of like persuaded the client into something else, which I thought would be timeless, which I thought would have better value in real estate, which
Mhm.
I thought is going to work. And then and it was the first time that happens to me. Uh, on the presentation time, my most hype point
Uh-huh.
of that I like to do, he's like, no, this is not what I wanted. I sent you, what I wanted, and this is not it. And he told me, I understand that I told you yes, but looking back, I'm investing millions of dollars into this home. This is how I want it to be. And I was
You
shocked,
had to adapt,
yeah, I was shocked because first it never happens. And I think these are the scariest moments when
right?
it's a
When you
first
present.
and you don't know how to act and you
Mhm.
don't know how to,
Yeah.
and like I said, my face shows all the time. So I'm sure he felt it too. Now we're on good terms, but obviously we were on good terms in the end of the meeting too, because I told him, he's like, I'm sorry, I should have told you. I'm like, no, this is your home and it's
We're
totally
gonna do
fine.
it
In my
again.
contract, I allow like a full revision of
Mhm.
every single element of the home.
Okay.
So it's within the boundaries. He didn't cross anything. He actually caught it in a very good point, rather
Right.
than us going full
Yeah.
blown into construction, and then things are starting to arrive and he realizes in his gut, this is not it. I
Mhm.
want something completely different. um but like I
Is
exaggerate,
that
it wasn't like a complete
is that
redesign, but
fully done or not? Not yet.
the project, not
Not
yet.
yet.
So
And was his vision the one from
mhm.
his own mind good?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's very different from what I'm used to, and hopefully in my social media you will see it coming up soon. I'm working
Mhm.
on like the final points of this project. He wanted very dark, like very moody spaces, like everything dark
Well, that's
woods.
taking you out of the comfort zone.
Yes.
You're discovering a
Mm-hmm.
whole new
Yeah, and when it settled with me, like this is something new, like this is exciting. I
mhm.
shouldn't be like upset about it. The opposite. This is
Right.
an opportunity to do something completely different, to
Totally.
attract completely different clients,
Uh-huh.
like the ones that want something that is
Yeah.
not a cookie cutter. It's
Mhm.
something that somebody that wants their story to be told
Mhm.
within the bones of the house. And this is it, and I got even more excited about this project, like I was
Yeah.
already excited, but
And in one gets grateful for those clients
mhm,
because one, they know what they want.
yeah.
And second, they have personality.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
have
They
their own
have personality
personality.
and they don't go by trends and they don't
Mhm.
go by what's cool or like
Yeah.
what's acceptable.
And it's probably something that would happen to you on your own house
Mm-hmm.
because you have
Oh,
strong
I don't
ideas.
even want to think about it. I always read and that designing your own home as an interior
It's
designer,
difficult.
it's the biggest challenge that you could take in your career. And I'm not thinking about it, but we did do our home, but we had so little time to do the house. We had like think like 4 or 5 months before we had
Okay.
to move, and I was pregnant. So we made like very quick decisions,
But it
very
was
like,
renovation.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very mellow. It will work for years. It's fine
Yeah.
now. But I think when we get to the point that like we initially we want to build our own
Your
home.
dream home.
Yeah, now that like
That's gonna take forever.
yeah, and it's going to take forever, and the decisions are going to be made like very meticulously, and I think it's so much hard because the choices.
Yes.
The client, when you
Hmm.
present for them, is like the best thing that
Right.
they've seen because
Exactly.
everything works. But for you, the
Yeah.
ocean
And the
that is
more we
out
go
there.
to Milan, we get more confused.
Crazy, crazy. I haven't been yet, but I'm going hopefully this
This year,
next one.
the
Hmm.
next Salone. And tell me about the name, Prisma.
Prisma. Actually, I had this name figured before I even finished school. And I was always like, should I share it? Should I not? Like, and I feel like prism. It's like the actual prism.
Hmm.
You let light in, and a rainbow comes out. Like it's a transformation.
Beautiful.
And I love this name. I thought first it's going to be like Prisma Design, but I think Prisma Interiors really speaks to what it's done. It's like
Hmm.
transforming interiors into something completely different. So hence
And
the
it
name.
allows you to use the prism as your
Hmm.
logo, so it's
Yeah.
very
In the
complete.
beginning, I didn't want to have a face to my company because
Hmm.
like it was a different time. Would say like things change so quickly, and the algorithms in like social media and like how people discover you,
Hmm.
how people connect you, they change so dramatically that in the beginning it was a faceless entity.
Hmm.
But now I see also from the designers that you had on the podcast, they connect
Yeah.
with everything, and you notice that my clients also, they love watching you work also on other projects that you're doing, and
True.
they look at your work, and they're actually your biggest supporters at the end of the
Hmm.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's talk about social media. So
Hmm.
you handle your own
Yeah,
social media,
I
and
wear all the hats.
and it's something that we have to stay on top.
All
It's
the
another
time.
job.
Yeah. Well, sometimes, especially now when I have a lot of things that I have to accomplish, and it's also summer and the kids are home. So my social media is a little like not
Not
loved at
active,
this
not
point.
active.
Yeah. But I love it because I feel like it's my kind of like
Your journal?
my journal.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the
That's
word
how I
that
feel.
I look back at what I've done and what I've
Yes.
said and how I changed and how I grew.
Yes.
So I love keeping this also for myself, and it's good to have like to show to clients
Hmm.
when they don't want
Your
something.
evolution as
Yeah, when
well.
they don't something rigid like a website, like a
Yeah.
project, and they want a flow of different ideas all at the
Hmm.
same place. So Instagram is like a great place to share it with clients.
And what do you think about AI? Isn't it your best friend?
Ah,
ChatGPT?
ChatGPT is a friend.
Yeah, it's a
It's
friend.
not a best friend. I'm actually very excited
Yeah.
about AI because um we had a lot of conversations like within the community, like that is gonna take over and it's gonna.
Hmm.
I don't
A
think
lot of
so.
people scared.
A lot of
I
people.
don't. I don't
I
think
do,
so.
I the opposite. Like I'm
Hmm.
so excited for
I feel
AI.
like it's gonna help us.
Exactly.
I've made decisions instantly
Mm-hmm.
with clients because let's try another color of drapes.
Yeah, exactly. I
Instant.
think it's such a great tool.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't really realize how much time and effort goes into completing projects because for some people who don't appreciate
Mm-hmm.
the industry as a whole, or like you as a designer and the time that it takes, they would say like, oh, it's not a big deal, just change the wall, but so many things are moving parts in this
Mm-hmm.
decision. And AI, I think, will make it so much easier, so much faster. I am excited to use it as a tool, even if, like you said, an immediate fix. Like let's see, let's upload the photo and let's see.
Yeah.
Um, I want to learn more tools to
Yeah, I feel like we have to stay on
a hundred
technology.
percent.
Same
Mm-hmm.
happened with the systems, the softwares for
Mm-hmm.
renderings.
Yes.
Right now, the new generations they are flying,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and if we're not on track,
That was my feeling. Like we're millennials, like
you
we
are.
are.
I'm not.
Well, you are. No, I'm just kidding. But you saw the grand change in technology, like in front of your eyes, like
Yes.
from like dial phones to,
Mm-hmm.
like to what we're having now, AI. We saw it, we experienced it, and I feel like the new generations are already there,
Yeah.
but we have to like play catch,
Yes.
with
We have
the
to.
but with AI, I think it's such a great opportunity because things are moving fast,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have to commit to one thing.
Yeah.
You can
And it's new for all
grow.
of us.
Yeah.
So we
Mm-hmm.
can be in the
I'm
wave.
excited for AI. Actually, I think it's going to be such a great opportunity for our industry
Mm-hmm.
to implement AI into the process, which will save us time, our sanity, and also inspiration. I
Yes.
think it can generate like pretty good
Sometimes it kind of
inspirations.
like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
well, I have tried it and sometimes it's just
Yeah, sometimes
crazy,
like yeah.
crazy. Yeah, combinations or things.
Yeah.
But and the fact, the narratives,
Mm-hmm.
the emails, the way that
Yes.
it helps you get answers. I even used it once because I had one slab and I
Mm-hmm.
had a huge island and I needed to do the waterfalls and I asked ChatGPT to calculate
Uh-huh.
with the Pythagoras theorem
Mm-hmm.
how can I use the diagonal of the slab
Uh-huh.
in order to, well, ChatGPT made it possible, but the fabricator didn't.
Okay.
But
Well,
I had a
that's another
whole, yeah,
challenge
that's
between
another,
AI and actual
exactly.
reality.
But you use it if you give
Yeah.
the prompts. You use it a lot for contract revisions.
Yes.
I use it
I
a
use
lot.
one of the first thing that I used ChatGPT when it wasn't as smart. I need to revisit that. I just put my contract and like tell me
Mm-hmm.
what's wrong. Like
Mm-hmm.
where am I not protected, but in a way that will not show to the client that like I'm after them, because our
Mm-hmm.
contracts are
Right.
not to be
You
after
have
our
to be
clients.
friendly.
Our contract are to tell the clients full transparency that okay, if something happens, this is
Mm-hmm.
there's a part of it that is going to protect me and you
Yeah.
as well. So
Yes. But do you change your contract from client to client? Do you have
yes,
to? Yeah,
I
right?
always make fun of it because my first contract was like 2 pages. Now it's like about six, and it's not a lot about like getting back at the client or like restrictions. I think it's more transparency because
Yeah.
in the contract they're able to see how you do it, how you charge, any fees, any
Even contingencies
mhm,
or people that is working there that you suggested
yeah.
we don't have to be liable for.
Exactly.
So
These
those
are
are the
very
things.
important because I
Mhm.
also had clients that I did like a favor, I picked up like a plumbing piece. I was in the area and I picked it up and I dropped it off in a job site. And like a few days later, they call me like, "Hey, can you pick that up and bring it?" So I had to, and there was like a little breakage point in the relationship when I had to say like no. And I think it's important to have those things in the
Yeah,
contract because you can tell them like, I would love to do that when I'm in the area. Of course, if I'm in the area, why would I not
right.
do it? But if I'm all
If
the way in
not,
Coral
it's like two
Gables,
hours just to go
yeah,
and come back and.
that's not going to happen.
Mhm.
Also being at the job site, a lot of things in my contract sounds like limitations, and my clients ask me like, what does it mean? And I have to explain to them that at some clients will take full advantage. Some clients will say like, okay, you're my designer and anything I want is all that's going to happen. And we have to stay course, because if I keep doing all these little things that are not part of my scope, I'm not
Mhm.
there to do your job, the
Yeah.
one that you hired me to do.
And let's talk about a little bit about trends because we're
Mm-hmm.
running out of time. Can you believe it? What are the interior design trends that you love
Mm-hmm.
that you're loving right now?
Travertine.
Yeah.
I love
Yes.
it. I love it. And now I see a lot of like darker ones and brown ones and
Hmm.
gray ones and silver and beige. And I think
And I
it's
don't know if you remember, but maybe 15 years ago, we
mm-hmm.
were removing travertine from the
Yeah,
houses to put in concrete floors
crazy. Such a horrible decision.
and grays.
Yeah.
And now we are restoring the
Yeah.
natural
I
stones
think after COVID had really flipped a lot of
a
things, and also
lot.
in our industry. I think after people started to be more in their homes and they see all this grayness and all this concrete and all this like um
White and gray.
white and
Those
gray,
were the colors.
they started to feel not happy in
Right.
their homes. And I think
They needed warmth.
yeah, they needed warmth. So woods came back,
Yeah.
and like white kitchens are out, and like
Uh-huh.
natural veneers are in, and like
Yeah.
wall coverings and crazy wall coverings. You know, you can really play in like smaller areas like powder rooms. You
Mhm.
can play with those colors, and but for me, like travertine is the best thing that is going on in
That
the
is
industry
happening.
right now.
How about the lime wash? You
I love it.
like
I
no?
love it. Yeah,
Do you
and
think it's timeless, or you think it's gonna be
I
just
think
market
is
trend?
mellow enough to keep or change, and it's not
Okay.
something that is like set in stone, like if
Mhm.
you choose like this crazy countertop that you had to live with. If you do lime wash and you do Roman clay, which I really love too, and there
Mhm.
are so many companies now. Micro cement is one of
Yes.
my new favorites too.
Mhm.
um White walls are out.
Yeah.
I think
Not anymore.
wallpaper.
Right now we're paneling everything.
Yeah, paneling,
Paneling.
micro cement, wall covering, and I think it gives so much
Mhm.
character to the home. This client that I was telling you about, that we had to make like a full revision of not full, like I said, I'm exaggerating. A lot of the spaces he loved, but the common areas in his master suite
Uh-huh.
we had to redo. He told me, I don't want to see white walls. I don't want to not
Not
one
one.
white wall is going to be in my view. So only the top ceilings, which is like the open to below the big ceiling. Yes, keep it white. Everything else coverings, and I get to work with like such beautiful materials for
Nice.
his home. Like I said, I got even more excited, and we're doing Roman clay in his
Nice.
home, which is amazing. So
And what do you feel about the slats? Is that a trend that
no,
we're over?
I think we're over of the mediocre slats.
Uh-huh.
I think
Now
some
the
of the like
curves.
the micro, the curves,
The
like these
curves.
are I
Yeah.
use there's a company, a local company in North Carolina, and they're doing the slats like by hand, and
Mhm.
they have like this very delicate curve and back,
Mhm.
gorgeous, and like natural full wood. I love that. I love but the ones that they sell that are
Mhm.
pre-made and people use it, this is a no for me. The ones that are like three quarters, one and
Yeah.
a half, three quarters, like I don't like that
Yeah.
anymore. But I think wood paneling, it's like you go back and forth with it.
You
Also
go
in
back and forth.
history, it was very popular in the 60s and 70s, and now it's back. There were full houses done in in
That's true.
in coverings of wood, and now it's back. So not to the
These are
mediocre, yes to
cycles.
the special.
And are you a fan of wallpaper?
Yes,
Yes.
I love
So
wallpaper, and
bring it all.
my clients would be full evidence of that. I think wallpaper really elevates the space. I think it's something that can bring your room from like just a bedroom to like a home suite,
Mhm.
like, and if you choose the colors correctly, it really elevates the space. I love wallpaper.
And what about this trend with the moldings? Are you a fan?
No,
No.
no. I think walls have so much character that can tell a story. I feel moldings don't tell much of a story. It just brings you back to a certain time in
Era.
history,
Uh-huh.
and that's it. So I like walls that tell stories rather than let's take something from the 40s and bring it back,
Mhm.
like the
And
floral.
what would you say is your style?
I think it's so funny because I had this question asked on my Q&A at one point in my Instagram, and I do have a style that I like, but my style when I'm working with my clients is I'm
Is
implementing
none.
their narrative because they have a story that they want to tell in their
Yeah.
home. Because if you entertain, if you do holidays in your home, you want your home to tell the story of your family, of your likes.
Right. However,
Hmm.
there is certain elements that you
Yeah.
probably
Repeat.
repeat
A
and
hundred
that are
percent.
probably luxurious. Some
Mm-hmm.
people is farmhouse, some
Yeah,
people is
no.
modern.
For me is clean lines, but textural elements. So I would use a lot of that's why my designs are I want to say that they're timeless, because I would use very clean lines throughout, but I would introduce textures in the
Layers.
right
Just
places, layers and fabrics and textiles and wall coverings that have different textures to elevate the design, but it's something that you will not get bored living in
Over
it,
time.
because everything else is calming to your eye when it has like those
Hmm.
clean lines and modern touch to it, but not too more.
Beautiful. And I have one last question
Mm-hmm.
of things that are happening right now. The LED strips, the
Mm-hmm.
lighting,
Yeah.
the indirect, the lines. Are
Mm-hmm.
you fully using them, or
I
we can
love
be exaggerating a little bit in today's
I
world?
think so. I think so. I think looking back, all the LED strip lighting was used in cold commercial spaces, like car dealerships or bars,
Hmm.
like areas like this. Residential is something that's supposed to feel inviting. Like I would love something like this that has a backlighting. A lot of
Hmm.
my mirrors that I do in projects are
Have
backlighting
backlighting.
unless it's like a specific makeup vanity that you need a front lighting.
Hmm.
Um, I love when light whispers in the back rather than up in your face like
Hmm.
a strip light.
Yeah, we could be probably overusing.
Yes, for
Out,
sure.
yeah, because
Mhm.
right now you get into a house and it could probably have the LEDs in the
Mhm.
ceiling and then in the all the vanities in,
Yeah,
I mean all the cabinets, and it's just
it's just too much.
overwhelming.
Mhm.
And I
And even in the cabinets, I like to hide it in the back so it will illuminate what you're putting
Mhm.
on rather than to be part of the design. Another thing with LED strip lighting, it's very directional light. It just tells you where to go, like an airport. It
Mhm.
just tells you where to go. And we have so many vendors and designers and like a bespoke furniture lighting that you can use to tell a story in
Yeah,
the space than to just direct people to go to the kitchen.
she is. Is there one product that you're grateful for? Yes,
Hmm.
thank God they made what?
um I would say sconces, if that counts. I
Okay.
think it really brings something to the wall. I also in hallways, I don't like to do the drop lights. I like
Hmm.
the light to wash the wall rather than to be
A path.
like a path. You see, I have problems with paths because um a hallway should tell a story too. We neglecting all those little areas that are okay. Let's just put lights so they can pass in the middle.
Mhm.
But no, let's put something like on the bottom. Let's put a sconce. Let's tell a story. Let's wash the wall. So directional lighting is something that I love to do, and I am thankful for that because when I started, maybe I wasn't familiar with different brands, but now I work with a few vendors that have those very meticulous lighting
Mhm.
solutions that I'm all for it.
Lighting is playing a big role nowadays in
Yes,
design.
yes. I
More,
think people realize that putting a lamp above a dining table is not
it's
enough
not
to,
enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's becoming like an artistic
yes,
expression inside the
yes.
homes.
There's a designer that I really love, and she's using very unique lighting fixtures in a very subtle environment of the home. But then there's like this light that like begins here and ends here, and there's like a little weight that
Yeah.
carries the light. It's so beautiful, and it's such a
Beautiful.
storytelling
Mhm.
for the clients too. Like when they host something, people will notice if it's special, but they overlook if it's something that everybody else has.
Well, we're getting to the end. I want to ask you a question about the philosophy of Prisma
Mhm.
Interiors. Just to close, we
Mhm.
didn't even talk about your influence from Israel and the
Mhm.
years that you lived there.
I
Does
was
that
very
play a role?
young. Yeah, I was very I moved to the United States when I was 17. When living in Israel, we didn't have a lot of money, so I was kind of like in the city, so I didn't get to experience. I do now.
Yeah.
Israel, if you look it up, their architecture and interior design is very much developed, even in some
Have
areas
you
more
done
than
any
here.
projects over there?
No, no,
Not
but
yet.
not yet, not yet.
Not yet.
But they have the industry is very booming
Mhm.
in Israel, and I get a lot of inspiration actually because things that, and you know how it is. It's in the Middle East. They bring a lot from Europe. Things that are there already get more attention faster until it gets here. When the
Mhm.
wood slats came here, when the tracks came here,
Mhm.
over there and in
You start
Europe,
seeing
it
it
was
there.
old
Yeah.
news.
When the arches started, they started over there.
And by the time they got here, it's something new there. So I
Mhm.
love to get inspirations from like the Middle East, Dubai and Abu
Yeah.
Dhabi. Like the designs are amazing, you know.
Yes,
So
yes.
the Middle Eastern space has a lot of credit to design, and obviously Europe, you know, it's a history bound
Mhm.
place to design.
So where do you see yourself in the next years? Are you
Mhm.
thinking on launching a product, or that's not?
I was thinking about it. Like you were asking me if I love wallpaper. I love wallpaper.
Mhm.
Not at this point, but I want to at one point work with a printing vendor and
Mhm.
create my own wall coverings. I think there's so much to offer in that area. Of course, there's a lot of vendors that already bring those ideas, but I think if you have the community and you have the clientele and you already build yourself in one arena, like
Mhm.
why not? Why
And you
not go
will do
somewhere
the ones
else?
that you exactly need for your project. So that's
Exactly.
amazing. Well, I hope to have you back here. We
Thank
sometimes
you.
do creative talks with several designers,
Yes.
GCs, and we just discuss ideas. So
hmm
it was really nice
Thank
talking to
you.
you.
Thank you.
You have an amazing portfolio. I
Thank
encourage
you.
everybody to check your Instagram, which
hmm
is
Prisma Interiors.
Prisma Interiors.
Yes.
And thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. Great
Bye.
pleasure.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for listening to the Creative Talks podcast. Your 5-star reviews really help us continue what we do. Please rate your listening experience, and let's keep building this beautiful community together. For exclusive access to more design content, visit thearchitecturalauthority.com or download our app from the App Store or Google Play. Until next time, take care and keep creating.